mean, shoot, it happens. We were here in the beginning of the season 4 weeks ago, and all you got to do is just flush it out and come back the next day ready to work. And now we got the Packers up next, so we just got to prepare for them.
Everybody we talked to sort of said the same thing. How does it give you confidence, understanding what you guys have been able to do the 3 weeks prior to this?
I mean, yeah, just because it's lost, you can't just throw away all the positives that we've done. So, we just got to stay confident. We obviously know our potential, so just taking that into this week.
How tough is it, though, when you have a game like this and you see guys going down, getting hurt, especially on the offensive line? Like, how sort of tough is that on you guys emotionally?
I mean, yeah, that's hard. Any injuries on any team is hard, but, next guy steps up and got to make a play. So, I have full confidence in anybody that we bring in or, that steps up to the plate. So.
All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Carolina Pro Football Report. But not a great feeling like it was for the past 3 games for the Carolina Panthers. This week they just dropped to the Bills. The Bills Nation, Bills Mafia that was here all over the place this week. 40-9, Kevin. This was basically came down to one thing. They couldn't stop James Cook.
It was very simple. The Bills came into Carolina. Like Dallas has been here 3 years in a row. They come here like cockroaches. You can't get rid of them. But Buffalo, they come here once every 6 years or so. They came in strong, about 30, 40,000 of them strong. They're like the ECW of the NFL. They break through tables, they drink a lot of beer, and they let you know about it. James Cook was unstoppable today. We talked about it off the air. A couple weeks ago, we saw the NFC Offensive Player of the Year in Rico Dowdle. Today, I think we saw the AFC Offensive Player of the Week, and that would be James Cook. 19 carries, 216 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, including a 64-yard touchdown. You probably had some good shots of him from behind. He was way downfield.
Well, actually, I got him coming right at me because I switched down to that end of the field. You'll see some of those images popping up right now. Yeah, just an amazing performance. Wish it could have been on our side, but, that's just how it goes some days. It's any given Sunday out here. And also, though, Derek Brown says that they really weren't as worried about it because they have really kind of found their rhythm, but just this hiccup with, a lot of changing personnel. So we talked to Derek Brown in the locker room just to get his thoughts on, how they can reset.
Yeah, I mean, we got to execute better. We got to execute better on defense. That's it. No excuses. Like I said, man, they whip our ass. Shit, we got to get back in here and go to work and get back to executing how we execute.
That toss crack they were doing to Cook seemed to really be kind of getting him a lot of steam, too. What was working for them well on that?
I mean, they played on our edges. No, we know it coming in. That's what most teams are going to do. Like I said, we just have to be able to execute across the board in all phases.
Is there a worry that other teams will try to copy that now?
Shit, it's a copycat league. They're going to come back and do the same thing next week. We just got to be able to stop it.
Dave said this isn't the type of ball that you guys play. How do you not let a loss like this resonate in the locker room?
Shit, you go back to work. That's all you can do. If you're a man, you'll show up and you'll make it better. If not, then, you'll fall and succumb to this.
There's going to be a lot of things that have to be reset this week, a lot of things they have to look at. I'm sure they'll be looking at tape probably starting tonight. Dalton's turnovers. I mean, what else can I say?
I don't know. He didn't look good. He had turnovers, fumbles. He didn't look comfortable. I mean, Buffalo is a good team. I think they're a playoff team. They won their first 4. They lost a couple, and then they're 8-0, make it now 9-0 coming off a bye week. They just were ready for Carolina. They were rested. Carolina, I don't know what it was. They were looking good when they won several games in a row by running the ball with Rico Dowdle. Today, they went to Andy Dalton in the short passing game, and it didn't, to me, like you got away from what was working for you. So I don't know where Carolina had at Green Bay next week. They're going to have to right the ship. They're going to have to get back to running the football. Chuba Hubbard, Rico Dowdle, run the ball. They got to run the ball 20, 30 times a game. They got to get more plays, more time of possession, more rushing attempts, more rushing yards. That's the only way this team, that's how I think they're built, whether Bryce Young plays or not. And we saw him walking here in the hallways right before we came on the air. He looks good walking, but that's a difference between walking and playing in the NFL when guys are trying to get you.
Absolutely. And the other thing they got to be careful about this week, because we saw some eruption of emotion on the sideline, particularly with the younger players. Princely Umenmielen, a helmet slam was reported, but I did see him walking the sidelines with Bryce. Bryce, really trying to work to calm him down, giving that veteran presence that, to help manage those emotions, because that's one of the things that if it gets out of hand, then everything goes, kaput with these guys. You got to have a handle on those emotions. And Princely actually talked about that in the locker room after the game.
Every week we come out, look to dominate the team, look to get a win. So to lose in the fashion that we lost is just embarrassing. So it's, can have emotions running high.
And I saw you guys, you and Bryce, you care to talk about, what he said to you, help you.
Yeah, he just seen that I was angry and was walking with me, just trying to get me to calm down. He was just telling me to calm down and that I'm good and things like that.
And where do you guys start to put these pieces back together? Because obviously you played some good ball.
Yeah, it's just, to be honest, I think it's just about consistency. We're not a bad team at all. I think we're too up and down week in and week out. We can't, dominate a team 30-0 and then lose a game like this, or lose a game like how we lost, or lose a game like how we lost to, the Patriots. I feel like we gotta, just be more consistent week in and week out. I think that's the main thing that we're missing right now.
So not a big fix as far as the emotions go. Obviously with a game getting out of hand like this, I would have been upset too. But the Bills today, they blew up the stat sheet, Kevin.
Khalil Shakir, the wide receiver, 6 receptions, 88 yards, and he had a touchdown. But it was pretty much James Cook, 19 attempts, 216 yards rushing, and 2 touchdowns, including that 64-yarder. And, you see Josh Allen, I saw him in the locker room, talk to him. He wasn't Josh Allen of old that we think, but he didn't need to be, because they got up early, and they ran the ball, which is, basic football. You get up, you run the ball, you run the clock, and Allen did enough. No turnovers, no sacks, no interceptions. Josh Allen played a very good football game. Buffalo's a good football team. They're going to be a tough out in the AFC.
Now, you touched on it before. This Carolina run game with Rico Dowdle at the head of it, recently has made some major impact on the run game for Carolina. But they got to figure something out, because the two-headed approach, obviously, they like it because they can cycle the guys in so they're not as tired, less injuries. But it's not really working, I think, for the potential that you have with a Rico Dowdle.
I don't think it's working like D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart. Jonathan Stewart, we saw him. He looked right out back. Looks good coaching the middle school football team with Luke Kuechly and Greg Olson. But and I think J. Stu could give you a 3rd and one day, one of those. But they can't run the ball like today. Rico Dowdle, 8 attempts, 54 yards. Chuba Hubbard, 12 carries, 34 yards. He had a touchdown in garbage time. But these are both of these guys have to play, have to get going in the first quarter. They have to start clicking, build up these 2 guys, get a couple of series in you, and then that's when, hopefully if it's Bryce Young, you work on the short passing game with Tetterow McMillan, who also had a good game. 7 receptions, 99 yards. He didn't get a touchdown, but he's the as you put it, the one ray of sunshine on a cloudy day.
Absolutely. A great game for Tetterow. Hopefully that continues, and then they can add some more to it. But in order to do that, they got to get back a lot of guys. They had a lot of injuries today.
The offensive line's decimated. Taylor Moton went out during the game. Brady Christensen, they lost their center, a guard, and a tackle, and that's not good. And you're going to go up to the tundra. I don't know if it's going to be frozen next week, but you're going to have to run the ball, and you got to have some offensive linemen, hopefully opening up some holes for you, because the running game and the tight ends are the quarterback's best friends. And Carolina definitely has the running game. They just have to rely on it and just stick to it. Don't just give up in the first quarter. They have to keep running and keep pounding the ball. There's an expression in Carolina. It's called keep pounding. I don't know if you've heard of it. Sam Mills made it famous. But Sam meant for just life, but he also could have meant it for pounding the football, as in running the ball.
Well, they definitely have to keep pounding, especially this week as they start to recover from this 40-9 debacle against the Bills today. Well, that'll do it for this edition of the Carolina Pro Football Report on ADSN. I'm Kevin Tolbert along with Kevin Casey. And for Colin Cole, our pregame masterful analyst, we'll see you next time.